I'm Slimwin, and this is Slimwin Reacts or Reaction, not too sure, however you want it to be. And I'm looking to go to Vietnam at the end of lockdown, at the end of COVID, so hopefully in England as we speak, July, maybe before, maybe after. I look to travel Thailand and Cambodia and Laos and everywhere else I can, so I thought what better way than to make these videos, react to these videos, try and learn the names of the places. Something that I'm awful at is learning the names, so learn the names of the places, learn where each place is and do videos on each place to get a better idea. But before that, 7 things not to do in Vietnam. In a video I've done previous, I've learnt that that is not good news in Vietnam, it's rude. So in England I'd be known with that when I needed my luck to come in. But yeah, here we go, let's check this video out. 7 things not to do in Vietnam, must see before you go. Okay, go for it.
So to preface this video, I've lived in Vietnam for about a year, and there's something really special about this culture that grabs me. Whether it's the rich culinary history behind their street food scene, or their explosive sense of entrepreneurship, there's something special about this place. Now that being said, having lived here for a year, I've picked up on some things that you might want to know. So without further ado, here are 7 things not to do in Vietnam. Let's get into it.
I'll definitely consider living in Thailand or Vietnam for a little while.
Number 1,
Sure.
Don't stop while crossing the street. Now traffic in Vietnam, especially the big cities, is absolutely insane. And it's hard to wrap your head around visiting for the first time. Now you'll notice that when a lot of people cross the street, they don't falter. They set a course and they walk it. And that's because the way that traffic works in Vietnam, it's the motorbikes or the car's responsibility to accommodate you into their flow. So you'll notice that you can cross almost
You still got to be quite brave, isn't it, if you're the only one wanting to cross and know they're gonna stop to do it. I live in the countryside in England, so the closest city I live near is Exeter or Plymouth, and then Bristol further on from there. But I always find that when I'm in the cities, even in England, I'm a bit of a rabbit in the headlights with the hustle and bustle and trying to find my way around. But so be it. If they said they'll work around you whilst the streets, I'll let a friend go first maybe, and I'll just follow.
anywhere in the street, and the motorbikes will kind of flow around you like a school of fish.
It is
They're
amazing how
anticipating
many
you
bikes are on
continuing on
these
the line that
roads.
you're on, and they plan accordingly.
And like how
So
they
don't
know
stop
the route.
at random points. Number 2, don't use taxis. Now that's because everyone in Vietnam uses a service called Grab to get around, which is the exact same thing as Uber. But the best part is that in Vietnam, they have motorbike grabs, which means if you're by yourself, it is by far the easiest way to get around.
That's handy.
Trying
A lot
out
quicker.
the Uber Moto option for Saigon, which I have to say is both the fastest, the cheapest, and the most fun way to get around the city.
Yeah.
This
Being
will always
on a
be the
bike
best
is
way
a
to get around.
brilliant way to look around in that whilst travelling. I found when I was in Cambodia and we'd go to the temples with the tuk-tuks, I'd find the journey from the hotel or the hostel to the temples was just as fun for myself than looking at the temples. Just being able to watch the streets as we're going down, people, locals and that, just everyday life. I found that just as fascinating, you know. When we got to the temples, time to get off to go and look at the temples, I was still up for more driving around and looking. But yeah, brilliant.
Number 3, don't be afraid to haggle. Now, there are so many street markets in Vietnam that it's impossible not to find yourself in one at some point during your trip, even if on accident. And the important thing to remember if you want to buy something here is that every price is negotiable, and they tend to strike a hard bargain, especially if you go to tourist markets like Ben Thanh Market in Saigon. You don't want
My friend attempted to haggle in Thailand, and I think he ended up paying 100 baht more than he thought he was getting less, haggling for less, but he ended up paying 100 or 200 baht more than he thought. Only him, but yeah.
Want to pay the tourist price. Number 4, and this might be the most important one. Don't skip street food. The street food in Vietnam is the most insane food I've ever had. Both in diversity, quality, flavor, it really has it all. And there are so many amazing dishes to try. And of course, all of it is safe to eat. And one thing I'd say about street food in Vietnam is try to find some of the lesser known dishes that they sell on the street. Everyone knows about pho, but have you heard of banh seo, which is a crispy crepe filled with pork, shrimp, or bean sprouts cut into little discs? That's the stuff you want to look out for. Number 5, don't confuse currencies. Now the Vietnamese currency is called dong, which still makes me laugh every time because I have the sense of humor of a 12-year-old. And the denominations are huge. Oh god, I swear I didn't do that on purpose. For example, $1 is the equivalent of about 23 to 24,000 dong, with the denominations going all the way up to 500,000. Now because of this, the currency can be kind of confusing with so many zeros after it. So make sure to double check what you're handing a vendor. And make sure you're giving them 20,000 and not 200,000.
That's a fair shout. Sort of thing I would do. Or my friend haggling.
Number 6, don't book online. Now this is surprising for people who travel a lot, because as a general rule, it's almost always cheaper to book online, and more expensive in person. But for whatever reason, in Vietnam, it's the opposite of that. If you go to book a hostel or a hotel in person, the price will always be significantly cheaper than if you booked online. And this applies to everything, not just lodging. Renting motorbikes, going on tours, stuff like that. So keep it in mind when you travel there. And last but not least, number 7, don't be afraid talking to locals.
Yeah.
Now the language can be pretty daunting, and you'll find it's hard to communicate with the locals. But that does not mean that you shouldn't interact with them. And even if you just learned one word like cheers, which is yo, it'll go a long way. They're such a fun, friendly, and open people that the language barrier doesn't really apply here. And I guarantee your trip will be much better if you do. So guys, that was it. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to check out more of my things not to do videos, you can click on the links on screen now. And than that, hope you guys have a great day.
Brilliant. That's a great video. Again, real handy about the money. So yeah, I don't know if, like he was saying, that the money note colours are like similar in that. So you might get confused from 20 to 20,000 or 200. 20,000 or 2,000. So yeah, that's interesting for me to figure out when over there. I liked as well about online, because I normally book online, and I normally arrive somewhere, and when I arrive somewhere the first time, that hotel will be booked a hostel, and then then onwards I just book online. But in Vietnam it seems better to arrive at the place, have a few addresses of hostels you want to stay at, go and book in person. It sounds a lot cheaper and that. So yeah, brilliant advice, brilliant video all in all really. From the taxis as well, so it's like an Uber but called Grab. It's handy as well, you know, instead of jumping in the car. I'm sure getting about with bikes is a lot quicker and faster, especially when there's a lot of bikes in the streets and that. So yeah, Grab, have to remember that one. Yeah, all in all, really starting to get excited about Vietnam and wanting to delve in more and find out some more places for individual videos to do on here, so I'll get on to that. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it and got something out of it. And yeah, like and subscribe, but in your own time. Alright, thank you.